window just as the first wash of dawn breaks over the grass, and you will see him, a flash of brilliant crimson against the deep charcoal shadows of the garden hedge, landing gently on the wooden edge of your feeder. If you check your watch, you will notice something remarkable. The same cardinal comes to your feeder at almost the exact same minute every single morning. It feels like a quiet, personal appointment kept just for you, a rhythmic certainty in an unpredictable world. But this reliable morning visit is not a random habit, nor is it a simple coincidence. Beneath that bright red crest lies a complex biological engine keeping track of time with a precision that rivals your own smartphone. You are witnessing a profound survival strategy dictated by ancient evolutionary programming. It is easy to believe that birds simply wander the world looking for food, drifting aimlessly from yard to yard, wherever a seed happens to catch their eye. We often view their lives as chaotic, dictated purely by chance encounters with a neighborhood bird bath or an overflowing tray of sunflower seeds. When you see that familiar red visitor day after day, you might assume he just happens to wake up hungry when you happen to look out the window. But this view of avian life is deeply incomplete. Your backyard is not a lawless wilderness. It is a highly structured territory governed by a rigid schedule where minutes matter for survival. Why would a creature with the freedom of flight shackle itself to a strict, predictable morning routine? The answer lies buried deep within the bird's internal chemistry. To understand this precise punctuality, we must look at how a cardinal's body interacts with light. A foundational study from the University of Washington, published in 2012, investigated the avian circadian system and how it regulates daily behavioral patterns. Researchers discovered that birds possess an extraordinarily sensitive pineal gland located just beneath the skull, which functions essentially as a third eye. This gland perceives changing light levels directly through bone and tissue, triggering the production of melatonin with absolute precision. For the cardinal at your feeder, this means his internal clock is calibrated down to the minute. He does not need a clock on the wall because the very chemistry of his brain shifts in perfect synchronization with the rotating Earth, alerting him exactly when the dawn arrives. But keeping time is only half of the equation. A bird must also remember exactly where that time is best spent. This brings us to the remarkable cognitive depth of avian spatial memory. In ongoing research led by Dr. Nicola Clayton at Cambridge University, scientists have demonstrated that birds possess episodic-like memory, allowing them to recall not just where food is located, but exactly when it is safe or optimal to retrieve it. When that cardinal visits your yard, he is executing a sophisticated mental map. He remembers that your feeder is reliably filled, and his brain pairs that location with the precise hour of his previous successful visits, creating a hyper-efficient foraging route that eliminates wasted energy. Yet, knowing the time and place is only a luxury if you can survive the journey to get there. The morning rush hour at your feeder is actually a carefully choreographed dance to avoid danger. A comprehensive study on avian stress hormones, published in the journal General and Comparative Endocrinology in 2018, analyzed baseline corticosterone levels in wild passerines. The data revealed that a bird's stress hormones are at their absolute highest peak during the early morning hours. After a long, cold night spent burning fat reserves just to stay warm, a cardinal wakes up facing a critical energy deficit. He must eat immediately, but the early morning light also brings out standard predators like hawks and outdoor cats.
By arriving at the exact same early window, the cardinal maximizes his food intake when larger, competing flock species are still inactive.
Consider the immense energetic pressure weighing on a creature that weighs barely 2 ounces. Every single flight movement consumes precious fuel, meaning a cardinal cannot afford to fly around looking for a fresh food source in the dark. This reality forces the bird to develop a hyper-fixated routine within his territory. The University of Florida's ongoing avian behavioral tracking projects have shown that resident yardbirds chart their entire day around predictable resource pulses. If you refill your feeder in the late afternoon, the cardinal's internal mapping system logs that data immediately. He calculates the safety of the perimeter, notes the absence of competitors, and cements that specific coordinates and time intersection into his daily survival script, transforming your backyard into a reliable sanctuary. This routine is also heavily protected by a neighborhood-wide communication system. Birds do not forage in a vacuum. They listen to the ambient audio landscape around them. Christopher Templeton's landmark chickadee alarm call research at the University of Washington demonstrated that small songbirds encode highly specific information about predators into their daily vocalizations. The cardinal at your feeder sits quietly listening to this unseen security network. If the local chickadees or titmice sound an alarm at 6:15 a.m., the cardinal adjusts his transit, waiting for the all clear before making his final descent to your platform. His punctuality is a testament to his ability to read the forest's daily news feed, arriving exactly when the security dynamic is in his favor. When we look closer at this behavior, we begin to uncover a deeper truth about our relationship with the wild spaces right outside our windows. We often think of our suburban properties as entirely separate from nature, divided by brick, glass, and concrete. But to the cardinal, your yard is a vital, integrated node in a massive living grid. By maintaining a feeder at the same time every week, you have inadvertently woven yourself into the deep ecological tapestry of your local environment. You are no longer just a passive observer looking through a window. You have become a predictable, life-sustaining variable in a wild creature's calculated strategy for survival, a quiet partner in an ancient dance of life. Strangely, while we assume we're the ones domesticating or helping the bird, the cardinal is actually training us. His daily, unyielding presence at dawn exerts a subtle pull on your own human routine. You find yourself waking up a bit earlier, looking toward the window, ensuring the seed tray is cleared of snow or debris before his arrival. This mutual adaptation highlights the incredible cognitive flexibility of urban wildlife. A long-term study from the Max Planck Institute for Ornithology, published in 2021, noted that songbirds living near human populations show significantly higher levels of behavioral plasticity compared to their deep woods counterparts. They learn our schedules, map our movements, and safely exploit our habits with remarkable intelligence. This interaction reframes the entire concept of what a bird actually is. The cardinal is not a simple, automated creature driven purely by mindless reflex or basic hunger. He is an individual with deep memory, a fine-tuned sense of time, and an acute awareness of his surroundings. He recognizes the specific contours of your porch, the angle of the branch outside your window, and potentially even your silhouette as you move behind the glass. When he looks toward your house from his perch, his dark, sharp eye is processing a complex world of risk and reward, constantly evaluating his place within it to ensure he sees the next sunrise. So tomorrow morning, when you pour your first cup of coffee and sit down in your favorite chair, watch the garden hedge closely. Look for that familiar, sudden burst of deep crimson slicing through the pale morning mist. As he settles onto the wooden edge of your feeder and tilts his head to scan the yard, you will see him with completely new eyes. You will see the brilliant biological clockwork operating behind his gaze. You will recognize the profound spatial map guiding his wings, the high-stakes survival math governing his timing, and the quiet resilience of a wild mind finding its perfect, predictable place within your human world. The reliable routine of your morning cardinal is just one of many hidden languages being spoken in your backyard every single day. If you listen closely to the calls echoing from the branches above your feeder, you will discover that the birds are actively communicating a wealth of secrets about the world around you. To discover exactly what those songs mean and how you can decode the hidden conversations happening outside your window right now, click on the video appearing on your screen. Let us explore the remarkable unseen network of your backyard together.